Hey guys, Ostafarian is here, and this time I have a much different type of commentary. This is Starcraft 2. I'm sure if someone finds this, they'll most likely know what Starcraft 2 is. But anyway, RTS real-time strategy game, and one that I'm trying to get much better at. So I'm not very good at it now. As you can see, my APM is like 24, or peaking up, and overall I think the average is like 60 through the entire game. But regardless, I'm trying to get better so that I'm right now in Gold League, which there's Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Masters, and then Grandmasters. And I would definitely like to get into Grandmasters. Just kidding. That would be like impossible for me. But I'd definitely like to get into maybe Low Diamond by the time I get into college. Because they have a StarCraft club, as nerdy as that sounds, it's pretty badass in my opinion. So yeah, basically your workers, which we are both Protoss race, which is the futuristic alien, you know. There's also the Zerg, which is the gonna be a big horde and infest you type of race. And then there's Terran, which is the human race. And we are both Protoss, so we have workers called probes, and they mine minerals, and then later you get Thespian gas, which is very much needed for the Protoss race. Unless you're gonna be doing lots of cheese, which, we can see a forge here. So that means he's going to be building stationary defense, probably outside my base. I haven't spotted this yet. So I'm just going standard, building my gateway, sending my probe out to scout. And I always go for 13 gateway, which that means at 13 supply, I'm at 16 now, but at 13 supply you drop the gateway. And then I am also getting my assimilator for gas, building my second pylon. So as you can see, he's starting his cheese play, which means it's basically cheap, and he's building cannons outside, which means it's going to be hard to defend because early units that come out of gateways build units, and there's also lots of other things like Stargate, Robotic Facility, not Bay, and these allow you to get other gateway units, the Templar Archives and Dark Shrine. So yeah, basically early units, like, as you can see, I can only build Zealots. That's why I built my Cybercore. So yeah, I've spotted his forge now, so I'm sending around my probe. I already sent him up there, and now I'm like, oh crap, I see the cannons. I keep getting off topic about light units, like Zealots and early units. It's extremely hard to defend cannon rushes, so he's trying to build a pylon down here, since pylons power the cannons. So he's trying to build a pylon down here so we can build one up ground so he could shoot at everything up here, basically wreck me. But I built a forge of my own, and I'm kind of microing my zealot around to make sure the probe doesn't get up here, which he does eventually, but luckily he didn't build a cannon down here, or else I could have lost the game, and I silly lose my probe there. And now that I have my own forge up, I continue to defend this probe, and I build 2 cannons of my own here, so that once he tries to get sight with this cannon, I will have 2 to defend. That poor zealot, he's tanking damage like a boss. But as you can see, the downside to Cheese is that he has nothing here to defend himself. So as you can see, I'm starting my warp gate research, so you can turn gateways into warp gates, which means you can basically warp them in around your pylon. So if I had a pylon down here per se, then I could warp him in by its base. As you can see, I am successfully defending from this cheese. This time he realizes, oh crap, my cheese is definitely failing, so he's gonna start building crap over. Oh wow, I didn't even notice that he went for a Nexus before. Pretty ballsy guy right there. And he's just starting his gas, and he still has no gateway or cybercore, so he won't be able to get out his warp gate research. And one of my favorite types of strategies is 3-gate expand, except I know I should put on pressure before I expand because he has nothing, and I know he just cheesed. So I'm only leaving 1 stalker in here because I'm saving up so that I can warp in units. As you can see, he's chasing my probe, so I'm going to build pylons close to his base so I can warp him in and put on lots of pressure, keep him off of 1 base because he's trying to expand to 2 base like a selfish little man. And my goal will be to make sure that he cannot expand, because why should he be ahead after cheesing, which is a cheap strategy, and he shouldn't be allowed to because he has nothing to defend his expansion. He's not even building cannons down here, he's building them up here. So he's starting his gateway, so he is ages behind me. So I starting to build my pylons. I built 2 just because I knew he'd spot one, so in case he'd build some other pylon and cannon, so he'd cannon out my pylons. And I'm just not going to bother with this. I'm going to make sure I put on pressure first. So as you can see, I warp in 3 stalkers. And my probe almost doesn't go down. Oh yeah, it goes down. Oh well. But I have 3 stalkers so far, and as you can see the cooldown, I can't, in this game, after having a warp gate there's cooldown, so you can't just keep constantly warping in units. And I'm making sure that this expansion doesn't go. Look at these stalkers, so lazy. Go shoot it. Go shoot it. Come on, myself. Go micro it. I guess if you're watching this, you probably know about Starcraft 2, but in case you don't, or RTSs in general, there's micro and macro. Like, microing is controlling your units, like there I warped in 3 more stalkers. And controlling them, I tried to micro him away so he didn't die by the cannon, but it's too late. And he's, and macro, which is building workers and all sorts of stuff like that. At this point, see, I'm trying to... It's a poor excuse for micro considering I'm failing so badly. But I know that his nexus is here. I was trying to go for the heart and see if I could take him out quickly, because I'm taking out his pylons which power his cannons, but he's just building tons so I can't get in. But I said, you know what, screw it, let's just warp in other guys like Zealots. They're really good for tanking damage, so your stalkers can sit back and take everything out. So yeah, the shields are going down. This guy, so far, he's pretty much screwed because I have him contained on one base. He's just building all of his cannons, and as you see, he's trying to build a Stargate. So he's trying to kind of going into one cheese to another cheese. And you can see the warping. Oops, idle probe. And then I have a robotics facility because I want to build a warp prism, which allows you to warp in units, kind of like pylons, but it's miniature and it flies. We'll see what happens with that. Also, you can get observers to see on the high ground when they're a cloaked unit, although these are detectors, so they can try to shoot down observers. So I've shut down his expansion. He pretty much, he has no sort of way to win this, unless I am extremely stupid. So he's got his Stargates ready. He's probably going to start building a Void Ray soon. Yep, there's the Void Ray. And then I have a sentry, so just in case, I was thinking he'd probably go into standard play like gateways, but has he even... Oh wow, he's not even bothering with warp gate research. He's just gonna try to go mass air or something like that. No gateway units, that's different. So I thought he was gonna go for some sort of gateway defense, but as you see, he did not. So I built a sentry because they can use a move called Force Field, where it won't let me show you, but it has the radius to block off an entire ramp. So if he was trying to exit, let's say he had like 5, let's see, what do I have? I have 7 stalkers, let's say he had 9 or 10 or 12. Then he starts walking down the ramp, I force field it, and then 6 of his stalkers are down here, and I just tear him to shreds with this army. While the other rest are stuck up here. And force fields, basically, they can be knocked down by massive units, which you'll see one later in this game. But as you can see, oh whoops, I totally missed this. He was harassing me with the Void Ray, but I warped in stalkers and got scared and flew his Void Ray away. Which Void Rays, yeah, there's my warp prism, totally failed. But Void Rays, they're pretty good once they charge, because they have this prismatic beam, which basically, when they're shooting a target, it charges up and it deals 20% more damage to massive units. Oh wait, never mind, they just deal more damage when they're charged. Like as you see, this is smart. He's charging up on my pylon, and I'm just sitting back because I know my 2 stalkers can't take out 2 Void Rays. And then I only have enough really to warp in 1 stalker. And then here's the observer. And he's trying to micro this away so that I can't kill it, but luckily I'm able to take it down. And I decide to head back with my entire army because I have enough to wipe out these cannons. And luckily he's just going for pylons. Earlier his Void Ray, before the other one, when he only had 1, he was shooting at my Nexus, which wasn't very smart because he could have crippled all my gateways by taking out one single pylon. As you can see, I'm rebuilding pylons to power my cannons, because I was just worried about some sort of cheese, like DTs. And then, yep, taking out all those cannons so that I will be able to expand. And he's going into a robotics facility, and he's getting the shield upgrade, which is pretty good because it's for your void rays. Otherwise he'd have to do air. Forges allow you to do ground and shields, but void rays don't get any bonus to ground because obviously they're air, which you have to do at the cyber core. So as you see, I'm starting to get mined out in the main. I should have expanded before because I knew it was contained, but that's fine. Look how much mineral he stocked up. Usually you want to keep your minerals pretty low, like mine are still pretty high, considering just that I'm so much ahead. But I'm pretty much a noob, just sitting around in Gold League, trying to improve, so hopefully in the future there'll never be any more. It's kind of fun doing my first Starcraft 2 cast, thanks to my friend who gave me fraps. So I'm massing up Stalkers because I know that he's going to have air, and he's also going for Colossus Tech, which this is a massive unit. And they do additional damage to light. Light units are zealots and sentries and marines from the Terran, and there's all sorts of other light units. I see with his my observer that his void rays are up there. I want to get in my view. So see, my observer gets sight to the high ground, so I can shoot at his tech and stuff. But I'm trying to stay away from his cannons. And I spotted the void rays, trying to take him out. That's what I was trying to do earlier. And as you can see, expanding, keeping up on that. Oh god, minerals starting to pile up. I definitely need to build more gateways to keep up production so that all the money that you have in stock is actually pretty bad, unless you're kind of a Zerg player in the late game and you have tons of lava to instantly make units. But yeah, you want to keep your minerals low because all these minerals are minerals that could have been spent, and I could have had a much more massive army. And I'm building immortals because I know that Colossus are armored and massive unit, so immortals do 50 damage versus armored, so they're great against Colossi, which is pretty bad that he's going for Colossi and void rays, because he's taking on his pylon so his Colossus can get out. Colossi, but I don't think they can fit through there. Or never mind, I guess they can walk over it. Yeah, since he's going for Colossi and Void Rays, that's a really bad decision because I guess he's already screwed, but he's trying to get all the power units so he can power his way out to get his expansion. But I'm saying it's kind of a bad choice because, as you can see, Void Rays, they take up 150 gas and 250 minerals, and Colossi take up 200 gas and 300 minerals, so they're very high-tech, and he's also going for a Twilight Council, which is another expensive... Oh, dang, I keep missing all the action. I tried to build a pylon so that I could use my observer to get sight and then warp in units up here, but that failed. Caught that too. But anyway, as I was saying about gas, these are both extremely gas-intensive units. So as you can see, he's only able to get out very, very few because they're such, such high tech. Like in RTS issues, usually there's like 3 things you can do. Now that's my observer there, so I can't see the high ground. So you can, 1, you could tech up, which he's trying to tech. 2, you can expand, make an expansion, which is good later, because you'll have a large economic advantage. There we go, I heard him. I built 2 more warp gates, finally, and then I'm continuing immortal production. Ooh, stacked on top. It's also bad to have them units stacked up on each other, because, once again, minerals I could have been using on something else. So yeah, I'm continuing to build up my army. But yeah, you can either 1, tech up, 2, expand, or 3, attack. And basically, if you build a bunch of units, you want to attack, because all those units are money you could have used to expand, like he's trying to do. But, oh wait, can I hide that? Oh, I can hide the time. I'm sure, however long it's been up, everyone's probably seen it. I've been exposed. So pretty soon my push is gonna come. Normally I like to get Zealot charge just because it seems really useful against, especially when he only has a few high-tech units so that the Zealots can get an easy surround even though they're light units. He's Oh, he's not even starting Warp Gate. He's getting his +1 attack for these guys and getting +2 shields, I believe. Yeah, +2 shields. So yeah, this guy, his army is pretty small, but it's filled with really high-tech units. As you can see, I'm building all these zealots, which in hindsight I should have built more stalkers just in case, because he has way more void rays than ground army. He only has 3 colossi and 1, 2. Is it that? Oh no, this guy's in the red. That void ray's in the red though. So he finally fills up, and he's totally mined out in the main. So he's gonna. This is his only mining base, and I've got 1 still because I'm almost mined out. But he had his so oversaturated that he mined out faster than me. And right here, I sent a stalker around. Can I see the pattern? Yep. I sent him around to check every single expansion to make sure that he is not he doesn't have a secret expansion. And here I go in for the push, sending in all my units. Except I kind of keep him back on accident. It's always good to keep him up and pushing. He's trying to microwave Colossi. As you can see, that's why I should have built more stalkers, because he's almost taken them all out. But as you can see, I warp in another round, and I can obviously win. Come on, go to work, army. Look at that massive damage. And they only take, because of their hardened shields, they only take 10 damage no matter what. Unless it's a spell, like nukes or Storm. From here on, it's pretty much GG. So I warped in a bunch more stalkers just in case he has void rays. So now he's totally mined out. He has these are the only resources he has. And he's trying to, even if he would have been able to build up this 1 void ray and had +2 shields, they're GG's because he would have only had 1 void ray or 2 void rays and +2 shields, and that is where the game ends. So guys, this is my first StarCraft 2 cast of myself, which I'm sorry, I shouldn't be apologizing. I'm not that good. But I'm trying to improve, constantly get better. So hopefully I'll be able to get awesome games in the future. I might even try out casting pro games or other games of that sort. Anyway, love y'all.